So the Midwest Gaming Classic 2022 is coming up at the end of April. Dan asked me to do another workshop. I think I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'll just do another set of these game badges. Worked out pretty well. I'm redesigning it with a few quality of life improvements just to make it a little easier for people to assemble. Like I'm going to remove one of these SOT 23.5 chips, and then the other one that I have to have, which is the charge controller, I'll just pre-solder myself to make it easier for people. But look at this great lanyard from Freescale. That was the best conference I ever went to. A double-ended lanyard, so it doesn't flip around on your chest. Because every other convention you go to, oh, there's one connector, and it always goes to the opposite side. It's like it's got a 50% chance of being the right side, which means 80% of the time it's the wrong side. So I ordered a whole bunch of lanyards like this from China. And they arrived one day after MGC 2021. So I wasn't able to take them to the show. So I was like, okay, where are those lanyards? I need them now. So I was looking all around my house trying to find the lanyards. And while I was looking, I came across this, which is going to be the point of the video. I got this in a surplus junk store up in Birchwood, Wisconsin. Check this out. It's like a little lantern. It's kind of cool, right? It's like, who goes there, right? Or it's like, we need the dinosaur embryos. No, what, no menthol? But I was thinking about this, well, when I saw it on the wall just now. Because of the AC charge plug, or solar panel, or USB. And of course that reminded me of that crappy radio I found at Menards. So, I like this thing, but it's probably a safety hazard, so I think he'd be better off in pieces and us laughing at the inside. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. Oh, or there's three AA batteries. Wow, this thing has really got you covered. I was watching an EEV blog video recently, and he said, "Sonically welded." And I thought, vindication. Oh, sorry I haven't made videos lately. Well, I'm not that sorry. Because, you know, that's my new thing. No schedule. Ugh. It looks like it's either nickel cadmium or nickel metal hydride batteries. What was that movie where they're trying to find the descendant of Jesus? Not the lost symbol. The Da Vinci Code. Yeah. Yeah. It's a solar frickin' roadway. What is this? A solar frickin' roadway for ants? Wait, what was I rambling about before that? Oh, look at this plastic. This plastic is like brittle as bones. It's brittle as bone. Oh, look at this battery. It's just flopping in the breeze. Oh, man. People with accents do better on YouTube. Oh, my gosh. Look at this. I could take this part with my fingers. I mean, obviously, I have very strong, manly fingers. But still, that's like so weak. Oh, how did they? Oh no! There's that big dropper cap, and everyone was so triggered by in the boombox video. 3 AAA, probably NiCad. I mean, NiCad batteries still have a place. Oh, there's a place for us. They still have a place. There's still devices that use them. Oh, they're doing this the same way, aren't they? Yeah. Now that I know how it works, the dropper cap, the bridge rectifier, which means, yeah, the USB port ground would be exposed to mains. Oh, lovely. Look at these dinky mains wiring. Why am I saying mains? I'm not British. But what turns on? Oh, I don't know if you saw that. Looks like the cap just did one final discharge when I opened it up there. Oh my, yeah, this is actually, I think this is worse than that boombox radio. Yeah, because this is the solar panel. It's the white and black wires with the solar panel. Oh, and they've got an LED here. Oh, God. I assume this is a single-sided PCB. Oh, there's one little screw. I didn't see that there. So one of the things taking up my time, preventing me from finishing videos I was working on, is I had to, well, I didn't have to, but I replaced my Ford Focus station wagon had a power steering issue, and I'm like, I'm tired of fixing this thing. I drove that thing for 10 years. So I sold it to a buddy of mine for $1, and I'm like, okay, you can fix it. And then I find out that it's probably only gonna be like $700 if he does a lot of it himself. And I'm like, oh, great. That thing got 36 miles to the gallon. Wow, talk about a single-sided circuit board. Yeah, so this is just as terrible. They've just soldered wires to the USB port, which is meant for a through-hole circuit board. Well, okay, as I discovered, this dropper cap drops the voltage down to, I guess we could test it. It's probably like around 6 volts. Drops it down, then it's bridge rectified. So then we have 6 volts approximately AC coming out this side. Although oh yeah, the plug for this, I actually promptly threw it away. It was even worse than the plug that came with that boombox. It was terrible. So like the solar panel would charge this? Maybe I could make this lamp safe. So what it must be doing is when you open this, it must close a switch that allows current to flow through the light. So I would assume that it's probably breaking the negative side. I mean, I guess I could 3D print a new cap for this and just make it USB chargeable. Because this is kind of a cool little lantern, except for the fact that it'll kill you. Oh, there's the switch, yeah. Oh, they must be snaking the wiring through the bulb. Yeah, it looks like the switch is meant to interact with that spring. Yeah. I'm going to remove this mains jack because it is a blight unto my feet and a pestilence unto the earth. Amen. So really, this is very much like that boombox. The dropper capacitor thing, an alleged solar cell connection. Just terrible. Like, let's say for some weird reason you tried to charge this with your computer, right? Like your home computer. So your computer's gonna have one of these plugs on it. So it's neutral, hot, and ground. And the ground, which is literally connected to the ground, or usually it's connected to your pipes in your house, which then go into a grounding rod. The ground will also connect to the entire metal chassis of the computer, including all ground reference points on the circuit board, which would include the can of this USB plug. Yes, and so since in American fuse box, ground and neutral are actually connected at the fuse box, this means an alternating current could actually flow back into, and it would flow into the ground. Well, no, it would flow into the neutral line. Yeah. So basically, this terrible device without isolation would allow alternating current to flow back through the ground plane, which would be, well, this wire in this case. See, now the ground of this USB isn't connected to anything, but in the cable it would be. So at the other end of this cable, the ground pin would also be tied to the can, so it would still happen. Yes. So you see how that could be a very bad thing? That would be bad. Define bad, Egon. Imagine your entire computer exploding at the speed of light. Okay, yeah, that's bad. Or the LEDs actually up here? I think they might be, actually. Oh, there they are. Oh, it's actually got, look at that. There's quite a few of them. Look at that. So what's the extra wire do? Is that just for the switch? Oh yeah, then this T-nut, that's what holds it all together. I found a masterpiece in you, the work of art, it's true. Stop singing! Well, if those were rechargeables, that would be 1.2 times 3, which would be 3.6. Whoa. 5 is pretty good. Holy crap, 1 amp? This switch is wired up as in normally closed. Yes, so when you close it, that opens it and prevents the circuit from completing. Well, I mean, you could just put 3 AA's in this, I assume. Or I could try to make a proper LiPo charging lamp. What should I do? Click, choose your own adventure. I'm Bear Grylls, and I'm out in the wild, and I've got to eat the urine of a hyena, and maybe even a jaguar. What should I do next? This is fairly awkward to assemble. I feel sorry for whoever had to do this. It's the only way to feed my family. Why am I speaking English? Was this meant to be powered by USB or to charge something that's USB? Because if it's meant to be powered by USB, or if you're using USB to boost the batteries, That would be a micro connector. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say the Enterprise should be hauling garbage. What I meant to say was the Enterprise should be hauled away as garbage. I mean, it's not like this thing is a paragon of construction excellence, but you'd think they'd at least have, well, for instance, these wires just flapping in the breeze. But what if they hit the switch? So I'm actually gonna twist them so they're easier to wrangle. It's the Amazon input. I was gonna use this to turn one of my old tube radios into an NSA spying device, but I never got around to it. But I believe this, yeah, it's also got my Korea USB. You know, I'm starting to come around on USB-C. Micro USB kind of sucks. All right, so this thing, yeah, I believe it's line out to your stereo, and then it's got the NSA speakers right here. I'm turning into AVE, aren't I? Uh-oh. That's a file. Oh, here I am on my boat in China, and I'd like to listen to my Alexa device. So even though this amazing lantern might assume you'd only have it hooked up to the mains when you're charging it, you could have it hooked up to the mains while you're doing this, which means this, bzzzt, it would be a shock potential. You know what? I'm just going to cheat. I'm just going to put a bunch of hot glue there. I probably have one of those power boosts laying around. I mean, maybe this thing could be used to charge my phone on a boat. That would be handy, you know. I do have an Adafruit Power Boost 1000. But is it worth putting into this dumb little lamp? Well, I think what does this cost? About $20, $25? This video should make more than that. On the Power Boost 1000, when you connect enable to ground, that turns it off, so it's active high enable. So the switch on our lantern, so see how the switch is open right there? So it's normally closed, and then when you close the lid, that's what turns off the circuit. So we'll have to actually invert that. Is it this one or this one? So it'll close when it's closed. So when you push the lid down, it'll connect enable to ground and then disable the output on the charge, well, not the charger, the booster. Hey, look at this beefy boy. That fits perfectly, just like Michael Scott at the end of his bed. You took me by the hand, made me a man. That one night, you made everything alright, alright. So raw, so wrong, so right, oh yeah, oh yeah. See, that's the theory that Jan's baby is actually hunters. Because in the song, it says, so wrong, so raw, so right. So you know what they mean by raw, of course. Yeah. Hashtag office lore. Hashtag Toby is a Scranton Strangler. Actually, I'm going to do that differently. I'm just going to run this ribbon cable because that's just a logic level signal. It doesn't have to carry a load. Alright, so we need to snake the signal line through that. Speaking of fishing, I should hot glue a bunch of lead shot into the base of this to make it artificially heavy. So in this guy, the PCB, the reds are positive. They're both the same. So I'll just... Wait, what's the point of pulling them both out? They're both the same. I'm just going to cut one off. Bye-bye. So, this goes through here. Oh, gotta thread the needle. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a Chinese radio to pass FCC certification. I believe my brother-in-law bought one of these on that same fishing trip from the same junk store. I have to go run up to him in slow motion. Don't plug it in! No! And then I jump in slow motion. Okay, gotta make sure all the slack for the cable's in the bottom, not the top. I've got a plan, Arthur. Well, I don't think Dutch there has a plan. I've got a plan, Arthur. All right, Dutch, what's your plan? I don't have a plan, Arthur. There we go. You know, anti-puke cam is a little harder for me to use. Like if I work at something at the edge of my table, it's kind of hard to get a shot of it because the range is reduced with anti-puke cam. But I guess, you know, it's the viewers that matter. It's you. And yes, I just stripped those wires with my thumbnail. So the power boost is actually intended to take a through-hole USB connector, very much like this one. See? Just like that, you plop it in. But of course, this connector is upside down, like this whole device. So I'm going to put some thicker wires on, and then I should be able to run them and the lights in tandem. I believe that should work. Well, here's most of the wiring. It's quite simple. So yeah, we have the 5-volt boost enable going down to the switch in the base. We have 5 volts going to the LED lights, which I guess is kind of redundant. It's like light emitting diode lights. And then 5 volts also going to this USB connector, so you can charge your phone. This is the largest LiPo I could find that would fit in the space. Just barely fits. Here's a connector from a PlayStation 3 battery. I believe that'll fit. Although I think the pinout is backwards, so let's look for ground. Ground is always ground is ground is ground. Except for that ring, of course. Ground, ground, ground. Yeah, so if we plug this in as is, it would be backwards. But if we snip it and attach it to this battery, we can just flip the polarity. Nice! Alright, I ordered some LiPos from Amazon. Let's see if this is a better fit. 2,000 milliamp hours. Yeah, I better double check that. Yeah, that'll fit. I also realized, yeah, I've got this 3mm LED. I could snake that through there and then wire it up to the charge LED, and then we could see if it's charged. I use an X-Acto knife to lift up the pin, so I should be able to swap these. Pull that one out. Put it in there. And put this one in here. Okay, this should work. Oh, there we go. Nice. And I totally didn't get electrocuted. Oh, I should have penned something. Earlier I did that example where I showed the ground being connected between the headphone jack and this. It would really only be a problem if that headphone jack was plugged into a stereo. So if for some reason, okay, you plugged in the AC line here, plugged in this into your cell phone, and then plugged your cell phone's headphone jack into a stereo, then you would create a connection back to neutral and possibly get shocked. So it's kind of convoluted, but it could happen. That's the thing, is like if it could happen, you have to assume that it will happen. Okay, there's the charge light. Let's see which polarity it is. Okay, so the left is positive. All right, which I can do with my iron. Kind of heat it up on both sides. Come on. Been present for the birth of every little creature on this island. Well, it wasn't too difficult. I have a test lid here that I printed. I have to chop some of it off to make room for the LED lead, so I made a mark on it so I can reference or measure that for the computer. Plug in the charger, and now the... There we go. Nice. I made this concavity a little deeper than it needed to be. Guess we can see if it works. This is much less likely to kill whoever's using it. Oh, nice. Who goes there? I'm a crotchety old person. Oh no, I've doxed my home screen. Let's see if it'll charge my phone. Actually, it's not working. Oh yeah, sure enough, the light is causing an undervolt on this connector. I wonder if I should add a switch to the lid. Like a switch that's like light or charge. Pick one. Guess that would make sense. And it would have to be open, obviously, either way. Great, that means I have to print another lid. Alright, I reprinted the cap and I made a space for this little switch so you can say either the light or the charger, or I guess neither? Whatever. One of the few slide switches I had laying around. Okay, so I've got power from the booster going to the center of the switch, and then the options are light or USB. Make sure all the wires don't bunch up. Hard to stay within the lines. I'm about to get a new girl, Bobby. Phone book. Oh, you're beautiful. In an old-fashioned sort of way. But maybe we can make you more today. I'm no Picasso, but do you like it? All right, let's try the phone again. Okay, so USB mode. Put in the jack. Hope I don't blow up my phone. Yay, it's charging. What a win. Oh no, the charging stopped. All right, this lantern is now totally safe. I can take it on my next fishing trip. The power, it has gone out in Jurassic Park. I have to reboot the server. It's a good thing I have this totally safe lamp. And now you're buying it. You're buying it. I've got to find my cat. Where is my cat? Bud, where are you, boy? There's quite the nor'easter brewing in. Bud, we've got to get to shelter. Now it's Amnesia, the Dark Descent. Oh, check this out. I got this at Murph 2019, I want to say. No, it's 2018. It is a HP pen plot of the 6502 CPU. Illuminated by the safe lamp that totally won't shock me anymore. Where am I now? I'm on the back porch, like a video signal. Here is my box of 3D printed parts to give away to kids at shows. But of course this box has gotten quite full in recent years. I wonder why. Ooh, what's over here? It's a Rick and Morty pinball playfield. Ooh. Oh no, it's another one of those dreaded NSA. What? That's not an NSA Pringles can. That's the NSA hockey puck. Yeah, that's the size it is. Yeah, see, so the back porch, it's like a finished back porch, although it's not heated. So we actually used my old DLP TV. I put it on the back porch. So at the height of you know what, we would have like back porch movie nights because I guess there's like more airflow and stuff over here. Look at these terrible window blinds. A friend of mine is always like, you should make the back porch into a tiki bar. Actually, what I want to do with it, another friend of mine gave me the suggestion is, once it warms up, I'll make this into bud zone. So he can like look out all the windows and look at like flowers and squirrels and stuff. Interesting how blue this light appears on camera. So white LEDs actually are all blue. They just have a white phosphorus around them to change the color. Oh, I gotta change the blade on that. I'm in my garage now. Ooh, what's this? Oh, that was when I redid my bed frame. Yeah. Oh, I got my lathe here. Haven't done anything with that in a while. It's got some surface rust on it. I need to clean that. It probably happened over the winter. This was one of my lockdown projects. I built this workbench, and I can still fit a car in here. Oh, and then here is, it's my snowblower. I bought this from my old elderly neighbors. They haven't used it in 10 years, so I had to clean up and fix the carburetor, but I got it working. So I don't know if I think I've talked about this, like the CNC machine that was on the show. It's actually in my garage now, so it takes up one of the car slots. I've got 220 over there. Yes, I have a Burger King sign, don't ask why. I want to put in another 220. That way when I sell the place, well, two reasons. I could use it for welding. I would put it over here. I could use it for welding, and then I could also use it when I sell the place. I could be like, it's his and her electric car chargers. Oh yeah, I've got a Goodwill TV out here, and it's got a Fire Stick in it, so I can watch movies and stuff while I'm in the garage. And hopefully soon, it's March right now, hopefully soon I'll be able to be in the garage more because it'll start to warm up. Yeah, so cool, yeah. I like this little lamp is nice. I probably should have tested the current draw to figure out how long it would last on that 2000 milliamp hour battery. I don't know, probably last an hour or so. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video where I took some dangerous crap from China and made it somewhat safe and usable. Unlike that terrible radio that I got from Menards, which they still sell. They had one left yesterday when I went there to buy some water softener pellets. But I think this lamp is cool. That's why I wanted to fix it. But I'm glad it's no longer a death trap. All right, I guess we'll see you in the next video.